There's lots of whiz-bang things that can happen with AI, but this is really pragmatic stuff. At the ground floor, if you talk to a user, they can tell you right away, oh my gosh, this is the administrivia that just takes the air out of my day. I spend 2 hours going from this screen to solve a problem. There's your use case. Yeah. And I think that's where the partner comes in, and they can unlock that for the customer in a meaningful way.
So again, as partners, you're an ISV partner working with ServiceNow, building some technology that would fit within a certain workflow, business process. What's the engagement in terms of co-sell, right? You're connecting the field teams together. Tell me a little bit about that.
I use a really technical term. It depends. It really does depend. What is the customer's expectation?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Inside Partnering. Chip Rogers here, and we are here at the beautiful offices of ServiceNow in Santa Clara.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Not the usual sunny day that we have in California.
I'm a Seattle guy, so I brought some Seattle weather just for the vibes.
Thanks for that, Mark. So I'm so excited to be joined by Marc Monday. And Marc, we're here at ServiceNow, as we said, and Marc is Group Vice President of America's Partners and Channels.
That's right, yeah.
And welcome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Great to see you again, buddy.
Yeah, likewise. We see each other regularly in conferences and all kinds. We were at Catalyst recently, and you and I worked together at SAP a number of years ago.
I was on one of your first podcasts back in the day.
Yeah, that's right. Back in the day. That was 4 or 5 years ago, I think, something like that. Yeah.
I think I bought a special podcast microphone that I only used the one time.
Gosh, Marc, you've been in technology and partnering for many years with, as I mentioned, SAP. You've also been with Citrix and Cisco and Microsoft.
Tell me more. Yeah, I've been so fortunate to work for incredible tech companies, and I work for the most incredible tech company now, ServiceNow.
It is amazing. ServiceNow has just been exploding and doing some just fantastic things, and really, you guys are embedded into AI and workflow and really making things better for customers. But let's start there. Marc, talk a little bit about your role and what your team is up to these days.
For sure. We are building the AI partner ecosystem for the 21st century. Bill famously says, the pace of change has never been this fast, and it'll never be this slow again. And that's what we're going through. The partner opportunity is now. It's incredible. And at ServiceNow, we give partners the platform and the tools and the resources to really go make it happen. And for customers, we give them the ability of having choice and meeting them where they are with the infrastructure and tools that they have today. And so that for us is the real value promise.
It is amazing that the pace of change is incredible, and I think Bill nailed it. You're talking about Bill McDermott, of course, CEO, and who we both have worked for previously at SAP. Great leader. Bill's amazing. Yeah, so that's really interesting. I think the customers are really trying to figure out, like how AI, because of the pace of change, because things are changing so fast, how do we do? So they really need companies like ServiceNow and partners to be able to make sense of it.
Partners are the keys. Partners bring a deep level of specialization and customer understanding, and partners know how to move fast and meet the market where it is. And so for us, the key there is bringing the partner and making them central to the growth journey that we have, and then helping unlock that full potential of AI for the customers.
And so tell me a little bit about give me the sort of the lay of the land of the partner ecosystem at ServiceNow. I know you have many different kinds of partners, but just take us through that. Sure.
Yeah, effectively we have 5 partner routes to market. So think of we have a broader go-to-market in terms of how we segment our customer base, our verticals, and then within that we have these sort of 5 quivers of partner models. And you can choose one or all of those as a partner. You can be a consulting and implementation partner, which is really important because we have a very customizable platform. You can be a reseller. You can be a service provider. And of course, we work in deep partnership with the hyperscalers, which increasingly is an important motion for customers. And then we have a combination of tech partnerships and build partners, more ISV type strategy. So those are the 5 core routes to market. And as I said, you can be any combination of the above. You could be 1, you could be 5, you could be 3. And for us, we want to make sure that we meet the partner in the way that they like to deliver value to customers.
And I think you made a good point, which is that these days, a lot of partners are all of the above. Service providers are creating IP that sometimes they want to productize, right, and bring to market. And you got ISVs that are providing services as well. It's interesting and valuable that you have that flexibility to be able to.
Yeah, I think that it's key to talk about the outcomes more than the taxonomy. I think if we fall into that legacy taxonomy, sometimes it hamstrings what the value the partner is providing. Sometimes a partner is publishing an application, and that might not be their historical core business, but it's what they do today. Sometimes a partner might be managing a specific service. And so for us, we want to just recognize that this landscape is constantly changing, be agile enough to meet the market, and then again, meet the partner in the way that they like to engage customers, and then importantly, meet the customer with a partner that they trust with the type of value that they're expecting.
Yeah. Let's talk about the kind of, I'm thinking about the life cycle of partnering that you start with the co-build, co-market, co-sell, and then going to market together. Going back to the co-build and technology partners, tell me a little bit about that landscape and what are the opportunities there with ServiceNow?
The opportunities are, this agentic moment is truly a unique opportunity for partners. And what differentiates us is we can meet the customer where they are with the infrastructure layer that they have, with the data layer that they have, with the application layer that they have. We have the ability through our agentic workflows to work north to south and east to west within their infrastructure without having to go buy something new. We can make the infrastructure that they have today more effective through those agentic workflows.
And ServiceNow is, the whole premise of ServiceNow is streamlining workflows and making sure that business processes are working well together. So that's ServiceNow's bread and butter.
Yeah, if you think of, at the end of the day, it's about workflow orchestration and what that control tower is going to look like in terms of managing those different agents. And there may be agents coming from different applications layers, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that something's governing that experience, that this agent may be asking for the same data from the same database. Which one should go first? Which one has priority? What are we trying to solve? And so that orchestration layer becomes the most important part of the whole equation.
So that's really interesting, Mark. Tell me more about the orchestration layer that you're talking about.
Yeah, let's think about a customer in the state that they have. They're going to have a data layer, and data is the key. So if you think about it, data, workflows, AI, that's where the pieces come together. Yeah. So let's just start at the bottom of the stack. So they have a data layer. It might be their ERP, could be their core infrastructure in terms of their data set. We want to make sure that we get that structured in a compelling way where you can actually access it. We do that through something called zero copy, and we create a file structure where that's accessible. Step one. That becomes what we'll call a knowledge graph. Then on top of that knowledge graph, you'll have your applications themselves. And what we're really trying to do is get those applications to talk to each other. The quintessential swivel chair. I'm in this app, I'm in this app, I'm in this app. You want those to talk to one another. So that's the next step, is figure out what we want to have happen within that. And then the next layer of that becomes, how do we orchestrate that in a meaningful way? Which agent goes first? Which agent goes second? Who is actually coordinating that back and forth? That's really the key. And so if you think about that workflow, our core business, north to south and east to west, how do you do that across whatever the estate might be? The applications, the hyperscale infrastructure, the data sets, and that's the real value promise that we deliver. The partner opportunity is wonderful because then the partner can go to the customer and say, I'm not going to require you to do anything other than how do we connect these pieces across your estate.
Terrific. Yeah. Well, and using ServiceNow.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and
but we can work with other agents too. We had an announcement yesterday with Microsoft. The agents can meet each other again, but someone has to orchestrate those together.
Yeah, it's the conductor.
Yeah.
Orchestra conductor.
Totally. I like the idea of control tower in a way. It's like an air traffic control. You've got certain planes that need certain space on the runway. They need to come in at a certain sequence time. There needs to be a certain space between them. And it's all a matter of a time schedule. So this idea of that control tower orchestrating which agent is coming into the equation at which time and when it's leaving, that's really important.
So for partners, again, then being a part of that ecosystem to be able to deliver that value to customers, that's critical.
It's the most critical, honestly, because again, the partners are going to have relationships with these customers. They're going to know what the existing infrastructure is. They are trying to help the customer realize value, because in this pace of change, a customer may not have the budget to go think through a big, let's say, a multi-year ERP transformation. Maybe they're just trying to get very specific workflows solved, let's say in a simple thing like an approval chain or an update chain. They don't need to go update everything within the infrastructure, but they need to get that access. And then importantly, talking between applications. So this is where the partner really comes in, because they can look, as I said, side to side, north to south, east to west, across the estate, and then deliver that value based upon this orchestration layer that we're creating.
Love that. That's cool. So again, as partners, you're an ISV partner working with ServiceNow, building some technology that would fit within a certain workflow, business process, and you've got something that's really cool, right? It's really valuable to the customer, to ServiceNow customers, to their customers. What's the engagement in terms of co-sell, right? You're connecting the field teams together. Tell me a little bit about that.
I use a really technical term. It depends. It really does depend. What is the customer's expectation? We have the ability to publish services in our store. That's a great place to start. We have the ability for partners to do traditional deal registration around the partner and the opportunity that they're managing. And then, of course, we have this opportunity to do co-selling in a number of ways. Co-selling with the hyperscaler, co-selling with the partner, and then connecting the dots to the field. In my role, that's one of the things that we do, is we bring together the right partner and the right opportunity at the right time. And it's the most exciting thing of what we do, because the customers right now, they're really looking for guidance. They know that they want to take cost out of the equation. They know that they want to embrace this AI movement, but they may not know how to do that. And that's where the partner comes in, with that deep level of specialization and the ability to take the existing infrastructure, the existing applications, the existing data set, and then make them more powerful.
Where are you seeing some of those successes? Is it within certain horizontal business cases, verticals, geographic, like all the above? What would tell me about some?
I think there's 4 key areas where there's opportunity. There's more than that, but let's just start at the highest level. There's a traditional IT business. So there's lots of room for autonomous IT and improvement of IT systems delivery, hardware management, asset management, our core traditional business. Huge opportunity there. Security is increasingly important, particularly as you're thinking about this scenario across a number of different applications and services. That's a unique opportunity. Importantly, we also have focus on the CRM space, and that takes our existing CSM practice and extends that across the estate. And that's another unique opportunity for our partners to meet the customer where they are with the infrastructure that they have, and then supercharge it, leveraging the power of our agents.
Yeah. So IT, security, CRM, big opportunities for partners.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think that the thing I like about this is our partners are so powerful in their ability to assess where the customer needs it. We had a meeting with a partner yesterday, and they were talking about what's the entry point. And it's almost like if you've heard that metaphor of you're in an elevator, what floor am I getting off on? I really like that metaphor a lot, because the partner will know, oh, I'm on the 33rd floor. This is what I need to deliver. Oh, I'm on the 2nd floor. Oh, I'm down in the bowels of the basement or at the infrastructure layer. Here's the thing that I need to deliver. That's really where the power of partnership comes together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because no one company can build everything, right? So you've got to have very unique business processes or use cases for that partners are going to really, they understand it inside and out.
You nailed it. The headline is the AI revolution won't be won alone. It is a team sport. And for us right now, with the customers expecting so much and so much pressure coming at them, this is our opportunity to do it in a collective way.
Yeah. That's fantastic. What's next?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to do. It's just a matter of how do we take this moment and really seize it. And I think the key is taking those use cases, real live use cases, and turning them into reality. We have this notion of like process mining. And workflow orchestration becomes a key element of that. But the trick is you've got to go from that C-suite where they bought in, I love AI, sounds great, I want to save costs, I want to save money, I want to save time, terrific, I don't want to invest in a bunch of additional heavy infrastructure.
Go do it. And now they're...
Make it happen. So again, using the elevator metaphor, we're going from the 65th floor down to the 1st floor. And we need to look at the user. What are your swivel chair? What's happening right now? Why is that approval chain take 17 steps? What are the pieces of that? So that idea of process mapping becomes so critical to establishing what the agent is going to do. And I think that's the key, is there's lots of whiz-bang things that can happen with AI, but this is really pragmatic stuff. At the ground floor, if you talk to a user, they can tell you right away, oh my gosh, this is the administrivia that just takes the air out of my day. I spend 2 hours going from this screen to this screen. to solve a problem. There's your use case.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the partner comes in, and they can unlock that for the customer in a meaningful way.
So that brings us around to the SI partners.
Yep.
And consulting partners. There's again, a lot of opportunity there because these are change management. These are like really, you need to understand the business pretty deeply to be able to even make recommendations.
For sure. Again, like if we use the example of it has to touch the ERP in a meaningful way, and that's our background. That's a pretty sophisticated conversation because we know the ERP is the backbone of the company. It's the central nervous system. And so when we're tinkering with the central nervous system, we really need to have an expert there. And that's where the consulting and implementation partners are so critical because they understand all of the elements across the key data sets within the estate.
Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much for taking some time. This has been awesome. Yeah.
So great to see you. I think that I want to leave you. Customers need flexibility right now. Mm-hmm. Customers need partners that can meet them where they are. And customers need help in terms of what is the interoperability across their applications, across their data and their core systems of record. Mm. And it all starts with trust. And my favorite thing about working with partners is customers truly trust them to transform their business. Yeah. And for me, that's what makes this so exciting.
That is awesome. That's terrific. Mark, thanks. Thank you for taking the time and sharing so many insights about where ServiceNow is today and what's in for the future.
Yeah, and let's do it again.
All right. We'll put it on the calendar every
6 months. Let's do it for sure. Maybe we can get you to come to Knowledge in Las Vegas in the spring. That might be a great opportunity.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah, terrific. All right. Thank you, Mark. Thank you all for joining another episode of Inside Partnering. And we will see you next time. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on Substack. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.